Hello there, mysterious person behind the screen. So, recently, I've been reading the Doctor Who 12 Doctors, 12 Stories book box set. Get in. Book box set with, in chronological order, in the order that they come in, and that's why some of these are missing, because they're in my school bag and I'm reading them at school. And they've all been good, great even, but none of them have been knock your socks off, fantastic, amazing. Until I got to Something Borrowed. Now, the story that precedes Something Borrowed is the Fifth Doctor's story, Tip of the Tongue, written by Patrick Ness. Now, I read this with an open mind, like I do all of these books. I didn't like it. For starters, the Doctor was barely in it, and considering this was his story, written for the 50th anniversary, they didn't do a very good job, maintaining his story, as there's a short scene with him and Nyssa at the beginning, and then there's one at the end as well, which goes a little something like this.
Oh, he's like, I'm the Doctor, and this sheepdog cat thing, I see your house blown up, and look, he's going to make you want to shout the truth. Oh, handsome buck is running away, gonna go, bye-bye.
And it's just like, what? It's just, I did not get the book at all, and it was a slog to read. I hope, Patrick Ness, I hope some of your other work's good, but this, abysmal. So going into Something Borrowed, I was kind of in a bad mood after that, but when I read the first page, wow. The thing that jumped out at me in Something Borrowed, which is a Sixth Doctor story, is that it's written in the first person tense. It's written from Peri's point of view, whereas the other books are written in third person tense. Now, this took me back a little, and it took me a few pages to get used to it. And now, I've never read any other Richelle Mead books, so I don't know whether she writes in this tense all the time. But it's one of the strengths of this book. And usually I'm against stories being overly focused on the companion. But this is different. This is from the companion's point of view, but it's not, the Doctor's in it quite a bit. And the characterisation in this book is so good as well. I mean, I'm going to read you an extract here, and it perfectly gets the Sixth Doctor's character. So Peri and this other girl, Wirra, are trapped in here, and yeah. We have to warn the Doctor, I told Wirra. The girl was so frightened I wasn't even sure if she heard me. He's the only one who can. A clatter of metal was the sole warning I had before a hole in the ceiling suddenly opened and the Doctor came tumbling down to the floor, landing in an ungraceful heap of rainbow plaid. Nonetheless, he rose to his feet with all the dignity of an Olympic gymnast who just landed a perfect somersault. Please go on. The only one who can, what? All the masses with his wit and charm? Stump the most reverting intellect of your time, or any time? See, that perfectly sums up Colin Baker's Doctor. And this book just, it's so reminiscent. The relationship between the Doctor and Peri is so reminiscent of how it is on screen that it does feel like that this could be a screen adventure for them. I mean, the Rani's in it, you've got elements from that era. I mean, we all know how in the stories Peri moaned quite a bit, she would moan quite a bit, and that's literally the first thing that you hear in this book. Look, this is the first couple of sentences. It was typical. The Doctor promised me champagne and cake. Instead, I got flying lizards. That is just taken straight out of a Colin Baker story. That could be in there. And that is one of the strengths of this book and one of the weaknesses of some of the other books in this set. The characterisation. Like in A Big Hand for the Doctor, I couldn't really imagine William Hartnell as the first Doctor saying that. In The Spear of Destiny, I can imagine John Pertwee saying some of the things, but some of the things felt, a bit out of character. And I've heard Lights Out by Holly Black, which is the 12th Doctor's adventure. I've heard she doesn't really capture that either. But Richelle Mead does it perfectly in this book. I haven't read all of the books yet. I'm now on the 7th Doctor, The Ripple Effect story written by Mallory Blackman. I'm enjoying that one as well. But this is definitely my favourite so far. Seek it out, buy the set if you can. I mean, this was released as an ebook, so probably buy that if you want it singly. Or I think you can get them singly off eBay, I'm not really sure. but it's a fantastic book, and I haven't read any of her other works, as I said. I don't know a thing about Richelle Mead, but if this is as good as her other books, then I think her other books are going to be great if I ever decide to seek out and read them. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in my next one. Take care now.